Welcome to this video. The main muscle that we're going to deal with in the back view is the Latissimus dorsi, which we talked about a little bit in the side view. As you can see here in this diagram from the Force Anatomy book, there are also the obliques, right? And the obliques are wrapping around and hooking up to the iliac crest down the side, right? So the Latissimus dorsi, it always reminds me of, what do you call, like a flying squirrel. I don't know if you've ever seen those guys, but you'll have these squirrels like this, and they have their arms sticking out, and they got their bodies, right, and their tails, and then you'll have their legs. Gotta love that drawing. And they basically have this like flap from like their arms to their legs, like sticking out. I don't know, for me, like I said, it always reminds me of that, because when you have someone who has huge Latissimus dorsi muscles, they look like that. It's like there's the chest and the rib cage and the core, right, and the pelvis. And if they have their arms like out here, usually the rest of them's really big too, you'll see that the lats look like this, right, from the side view. Here's the arm, here's the arm. So it looks something like that. So it always ends up making me think about this whole flying squirrel thing, except you can't fly, just to get that straight. So where does it connect and what does it do? Let's talk about what the actual purpose of the muscle is first a little bit. So here's the Latissimus dorsi. Let's talk about connection again, actually, while we're here. It basically runs all the way down the spine. On both sides of the spine, there's some connections along the back edge of the pelvis or iliac crest and all the way down the back. And the other point of connection to bone is on the humerus. And I have to say, like, even us just going through the core, right, we had so many different muscles connecting to the top of the humerus, right, because your arms do so many different things. So you can almost imagine, if you think about force and the force of contraction, what this is going to do, right? So here it is stretched. If it was to shorten and contract, it's going to help bring your arms down towards your body, right? That's why exercises like rows or push-ups actually help you build your lats, right? Now here, I just wanted to make clear that based on what angle you set up your arms relative to your lats also affects like different regions. It's similar to the pectoralis. So you can see when your arms are angled up like this towards your face, you're hitting the higher reaches. If it's in the middle, you're reaching like the majority of the pectoralis. And when you're pointing downward, you're going to hit the lower portion. So down is low, up is high, right? It's easy to remember. And straight on is like a broad sweep across the muscle, right? Okay. Let's see. I brought this drawing in from the book. Wanted you to see, I remember this model actually. He was a very thick, muscular model. And you can see how the lats sweep underneath the trapezius to connect to the spine. And he's got this big sort of bat thickness to him. And the green, it's white here because it's the end of the muscle. It goes into basically the tendon of the muscle connecting down to the pelvis. But really the green section will take you all the way down to the spine. But this is where like the thickness or the actual muscle strands or striations actually are located. And you can see how it goes all the way to the armpit, which we talked about last week. The last thing I wanted to talk about today when it comes to the lats for me is I remember at one point in time getting a sense of how I can use them also to talk about the thickness of the body. All right, so this is the pectoralis, right? We got the rib cage. Right. Remember, if someone's really muscular, they'll actually have muscles here on the rib cage, which are the top two for the abdomen. And you come down down here. Remember this guy, you have your belly button, right? And then, well, let's get the abs in here while we're at it. All right. So this goes all the way down to the pubic bone. And these are the obliques, and they connect to the pelvis, right? So it looks something like this. Now let's get this arm up a little bit more. just making this up as I go. Okay. So from a structure standpoint, this is the turning edge, this red line right here, right? And this is the box. Okay. And you can see how, and this box has a curved edge to it like that versus a straight line. But here's the real secret sauce that I love, and that's this. So notice, what I did here was offset the line of the muscle. So to draw it again, what I did was say, here's a box. Okay, it's like that. Then we said, you know what? There's a muscle here that's going to go like this, and it's going to wrap around the back. Now, instead of having the muscle wrap around the back like this and tangent this side of the box with the edge of the muscle, I offset it. What I mean by offset is it doesn't land in the same location as the side muscle. It actually is a little bit further down like this. So you see this one connects here, this one connects here. And then right here, I can accentuate that line. So now you see my shape is like this, right? This little toned area here is my shape. And that creates the illusion that this shape or form is actually wrapping around, right? Around the edge of the rib cage, which is this guy. So I hope that makes sense. That to me was one of the biggest benefits of the latissimus dorsi muscle when it came to drawing, is in certain views, I can really use it to help create form very, very quickly. And of course, it's a beautiful muscle. I love coming in off and around the side and doing the same thing in the back view that we discussed here, and having it come in the side to get me down to the center of the rear end as well. So again, you're trying to use anatomy now to actually define your drawings and structure, and still with movement. And be aware, just to close off here, if the arms are up, right? This is an arm. The lat's going to be more stretched, right? It's like this. And the scapula is going to be in here, right? Because of the height of the arm being pushed up. And if the arm is down, scapula is like this, then this muscle would be thicker here, right? More relaxed, where here it's very stretched, right? So you have this like triangular shape, right? And you want to be aware of that shape and how it is malleable relative to the function, right? So shape, basically what I'm getting at is shape equals function, right? Is it squashed or stretched? To use some animation terms. Is it squashed or stretched based on what it's doing, right? Is it stretching or is it contracted? And that will give a clearer sense to you and people looking at your drawings as to how that muscle is functioning. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you at the next one. Take care.